Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of Inside Out Smile. I'm your host, Dr. Amber Q, and Ramadan is here. But this year it's a Ramadan with a difference because of everything that's happening in Gaza. And our hearts are, they're trembling, I suppose, really, in a sense. Our hearts are trembling. We have gratitude for everything that God has given us, but on the other hand, our hearts are full of pain and empathy for our brothers and sisters in Gaza and other oppressed areas of the planet as well. That sounds a bit weird, doesn't it, saying all the planet? But it's interesting, isn't it? Because as far as I can remember, people used to say to me, oh my gosh, you're starving yourself. Why are you doing that, Ramadan? And they used to think it was so weird. And obviously, as the years have progressed, we have found, as always, that Islam has the answers, and anything that Islam prescribes, there is a benefit in it, a physical benefit. Let's just put aside the spiritual benefit, but a physical benefit to it. So, for example, with fasting, people have now, seen the benefits of fasting. And it's interesting because, of course, people normally fast and they have water or coffee. And as Muslims, obviously, we have what's known as, I guess, a dry fast, but not just a dry fast. You see, this is the interesting thing, because obviously in Islam, we're abstaining not just from food and drink, but also from sex. I'm saying that because the show is clean, and I don't know if I said the whole word, that would put me in a different category. But the point is that Ramadan isn't just, oh my gosh, there's just so much to it. So firstly, it's not just about abstaining from food and drink. It's also abstaining from, as I've mentioned, sex, lustful thoughts, smoking, and additionally from lying, backbiting, gossiping, idle talk, things like that. So it's very holistic in that sense. And the ethos really is, and please bear in mind that I'm not a scholar, but the ethos really is that you're putting aside sort of your base desires, right? Your carnal desires. You're putting those aside because those are sort of physical desires of this world. But of course, Ramadan is a month in which the Holy Quran was revealed. So it's a month of feeding yourself spiritually and improving and increasing your connection with God or with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And so it encompasses so many things, and you can feel it in the air. When Ramadan starts, you can feel it in the air. The gates of heaven are open. And I say gates because they're literally several gates. Maybe there are actually 7 gates, but several gates for sure. And so it's just such an incredible time. In fact, it is said that if you only sort of abstain from food and drink, if that's the only thing that you gain, that you've just physically fasted, that you've kind of missed out on Ramadan. And I'm not advocating that you should lie or backbite and gossip and indulge in idle talk normally, but obviously you have to make a concerted effort during Ramadan. So it is about sort of building upon your faith and improving that spirituality so that you are better able to resist temptation once Ramadan has passed. So it's kind of like having a personal trainer, right? So, which is what I did recently, and it was so good. I think I need to move on with that actually, because it was so amazing and I'm really missing it. But the point is that you could say that Ramadan is almost like having your own personal trainer. And I realize I've repeated that, but I think the most exciting thing is, in this case, your personal trainer is your soul, but obviously your soul can only train or rein in your carnal desires if you work on yourself. So yes, you are abstaining from food and drink and all those other things that I mentioned, but is that all you're getting out from it? Like, are you just distracting yourself, or are you actually feeding your soul so that your soul grows in strength and you are able to rein in those carnal desires more so that once Ramadan is over, you're a better person with a greater connection to God and increased, iman or faith. So the interesting thing is that we know that capitalism doesn't work. We know that. We see the countries that have the most with the most unhappy people. And, why is this? I mean, surely as people age, obviously there are people of great insight when they're younger, but I think a lot of us as we age, we do think, oh my gosh, I've kind of lived my life, I've tried these different things and it's been great, but there must be more, and I'm aging. And we start off, of course, to think about our mortality and parents and loved ones, if they haven't passed away at a younger age because of some tragedy or more, some disease, we see them succumbing to the frailties of older age. And that in itself is very painful as well. And that's just people who are living, in areas of no conflict. So I can't even imagine what my brothers and sisters in Gaza are going through. And so, but really, I think the overall thing is that there is more to life. And as Muslims, we're always building for the akhirah, for the afterlife. And I think that's becoming, it's almost as if, I like to say that all masks are off at the moment. That has become quite obvious. All these institutions, all these spiritual teachers that talk about diversity and peace, everyone, sort of organizations, people are avoiding saying anything. And it's just, in a way, it's certainly eye-opening. It's disappointing, it's eye-opening. I mean, how far has humanity really progressed? Not that far when you look at, or certainly some particular nations. So it's interesting, isn't it? Because we see that who are the people that are benefiting, or should I say profiting, from the way that the world is organized. It's certain, I don't want to say everyone who's rich and powerful, because obviously that wouldn't be true, but certain people are essentially holding the strings and profiting from the arms industry, from creating unhealthy food which makes people sick, and then other people are profiting via various pharmaceutical companies. And so I think literally when I say all masks are off, I think all masks are off. But do some people have rose-tinted goggles? I don't know. Because the thing is, if we wake up, we can have an inkling, or more of an inkling, of what is happening around us. And that is quite a sobering thought. But it actually all comes back to, we connect to our true selves, to our soul. We can have inner peace. And it is that connection on the inside that is going to create a better life for us and a better life for others. Until the next episode, let's all create that connection, and let's not just change lives, but let's save lives.